Coach, on the eastern edge of the D.C. metro area in Landover, Maryland. That's where we are situated at FedEx Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Washington Redskins. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll... Coach, it's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's capital. We got our space heaters on full blast up in the booth at FedEx Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Washington Redskins. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long. To throw is Jackson. He's got his man. It's Butler. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
First down, Atlanta.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And this will be incomplete.
Used to have the coaches tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
Ready.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Decent gain on the scramble of 6, but now it's 4th.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
2nd and 5 now. Jones. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. From the gun on 3rd down. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Taken from just outside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Montez Sweat, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. To try again after the sack. Jackson, he's going to look deep for Perriman. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week.
Another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Now, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. From the gun, Jones. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. 30, the 20. 10, 5, and he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 86 yards. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got it first and goal at the 6. They'll run with Love, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Bryce Love, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. After 7-0 on EA Sports. And from down in Miami, an update. It's now a 2-touchdown lead there for the Dolphins. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
17 yards that time and a Washington first. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Out of the pistol, it's Bell. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Jones, and this is incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Here's Jones on 3rd down. And he comes back with one complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 34-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Check pass, check pass. 80 weapon. That's it. Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Jones throwing again. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 16. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the downfield. They're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Jones now, operating from the gun. Flush to his right, eluding the pressure right. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
He's going to look deep for Perriman. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off down at the 2. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
that's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Well, another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Well, they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
The Redskins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Jones from the gun, he'll throw. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 1st and 10, Jones. Flushed out right. That's complete. It's Bell. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pick up there of 20 yards. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's going to let this go. Back of the ends, and that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. In for here in the first half. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's Jones. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late 2nd quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, bad spot for you. But the defense has all 3 timeouts. So what you're telling your team is ball security number 1. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect them and wedge out some space because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. They're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You've got to try and get a 1st down and run out this 1st half.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And the defense obviously expecting run as well as they're going to shut that one down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
It's 3rd down and 6.
And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter.
Check 53, fly. Enter. Watch the whip.
On 3rd down, Jones. He's going to let this one go deep. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
For Terry McLaurin, incomplete. It's 4th down.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set and ready to go for the 2nd half. 1 touchdown apiece. 7-7 our score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Jones escaping the pressure right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this 2nd half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Throwing Jones. And that will be incomplete. So stop here defensively to start this 3rd quarter. Just what's needed in a tie ball game.
Yeah, good chance to build back some momentum on the defensive side of the ball. In fact, what they've done is give their offense a nice push in the back. as they get ready to take the field.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. On first down, here's Love. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson flush to his right.
We're seeing these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Bryce Love with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 29, Jones. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a 1st down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now this throw caught left side. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
I know we love our excited about, but big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
But the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
42 the mic, boys. 42. 42 the mic.
Back to throw. Jones letting one go deep. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pack. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 40. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is a season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts.
Touchdown, Washington! Terry McLaurin, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season as his guys are able to regain the lead. Extra 14. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson, he'll find Miller. That's complete. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. Jackson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th.
Falcons 14.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up fourth.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it in this situation. They're down on the scoreboard. How many other opportunities are you going to get?
Yeah, I'm with you. Fourth quarter, like you said, down on the scoreboard. And remember here, a field goal virtually does them no good. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. He tried to keep it himself, but can't stretch his way in. And the Redskins are able to come up with a goal line stand. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Ten yards there, good for a Redskin first down.
Redskins first down. First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Now after the run by Geis, here's first and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Now Geis stripped. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Check 15. Anyway, kill. Go. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. We ain't giving up nothing today.
On second and 11 now. Jones. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And he's able to get it out of there. Fielded at the 43. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They'll run on first down. Swift. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he'll go down at the 28. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First down, Falcons.
Hey, hold on. Check 53. Here we go.
On first down, Swift. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there. His 19th touchdown now on the season, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. A very important extra point there, up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Looking to throw. Jones. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Out of the gun, Geis. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Returnable here from the 38. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Ready? Right. Check 53.
Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Check 3. Check 3.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. Jackson. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 48.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York off. Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. Past the 20, 10, and he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds for regulation.
And that score in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears. They get it done. How about that score?
Finishes like this is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football.
So glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Washington, they continue to rack up the victories as this